right, guys, we're coming at you week 4 with some more mobility drills, building on what we did the last 3 weeks. We're going to start with some hip openers, move on to plank knee drivers, go into these great posterior chain stretches, and then work on these single leg, kind of working on shifting the weight from toe to heel. So we'll start with, I pulled out a mat to save our knees today. So get a kneeling position on the mat. So alternating legs, we're working on spinal movement. So trying to create a lot of movement here in the core. So I'd start chin to the chest, just roll down. If you can get the forehead to touch the ground, that's great. Then step forward and reach the fingertips back up and over the head. So you're gonna alternate different sides. So curl down, trying to round out the back as much as you can. You're getting this huge stretch in the back from getting the forehead down, and then stepping the foot forward, reaching back. So trying to drive that knee over the toe to get a big stretch in the ankle. So go through 10 of those, alternating sides, 5 on each side. Yep, I'll turn and face this way. Big step forward, lead with the fingertips, arch the back, eyes up. Chin to the chest, roll down. This should feel really good. You should feel a stretch in the front of the hip of the leg that's been back behind you. A lot of movement in the ankle. Think push that knee as far past the toes as you can. Arch the back, open up, chin up to the ceiling. Or the sky, depending on where you are. All right, 10 of those, 5 on each side. Once you're done, easy transition down into a plank. Hands down, walk the feet back. So we're gonna work on 5 quick movements with no spinal movement, and then 5 quick movements adding the spine. So 5 just quick knee tucks with one leg, spine's not moving, and then with that same leg, 5 big knee drives, but make the spine move. And then you'll do those same 2 things on the other side. 5 quick knee drives, and then 5 slower knee drives, now adding in the spine. All right, from there, stand up, balancing on one leg. So now stretching out the back of the leg, this posterior chain. Doesn't matter which arm you start with or which arm you reach with, you're just gonna alternate. So imagine you have a point about 2 feet out away from that toe that you're trying to take each fingertip. So balancing on one leg, reach down with the right arm, come all the way up, then reach down with the left arm, come all the way up. Go through 10 of those, just about as smoothly as you can. Did the barking dog go away, or just get used to us, just gave up?
Gave up.
Not our dog. We don't have a dog. We have a fish and a snail, and we're perfectly happy with that.
Oh, there's a turtle now.
We have a turtle now. Rescue turtle. And a tadpole. Same thing on the other leg whenever you're ready. Root that foot down. Alternate. Left side. Ugh. I'm going to blame that on the breeze. 5 for each arm. That leg is getting stretched out 10 times. All right, when you're done there, balance on one leg, and we're working on 2 things, the tilt of the pelvis and where the weight is in the foot. So start off with just a single leg squat. Shift the weight into the toe, and then tuck the tailbone under. Then reverse that, shift the weight into the heel, and kick the tailbone out. Oh, it's much easier if you have something to hold on to. Go through 5 of those. Squat down, shift the weight to the toe, tuck the tailbone under, shift the weight to the heel, kick the tailbone out, and come back up. Squat down, onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under, onto the heel, kick the tailbone back, and come back up. So when the weight is on the toe and the tailbone's tucked under, that should feel like the quads firing. When the weight's on the heel and the glutes kicked out, hips are kicked out, you should feel that in the glute. Stand back up. 5 of those. Same thing on the other side. Just check it out of the way. Squat down, onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under, onto the heel, kick the tailbone out, come up and out of it. It definitely helps if you can have something to hold on to because you can get further into that. We don't really have anything out here. Onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under, onto the heel, kick the tailbone out, come back up. Five of those. And then we'll go back through those 4 things again. So starting back with being on the knees, slightly different. Now, rather than having that foot come straight out in front of you, you're having it go out to the side and you're leaning with it. So step right, step left, lean left. You have 10 total, 5 on each side. Big wide step. Again, think about if you have like a dot on that knee, you're trying to get that knee out as far over that toe as you can. This should feel like a big stretch in the side. These are similar to what we've done with the world's greatest stretch, with the squat overhead reaches. Just adds a little bit of balance, a little bit of coordination, asking the hip to move a little differently, a lot differently. The knee is now much higher. 10 total, 5 each side. And then go right back into your plank. Same idea, 5 knee drivers with no movement in the spine, and then 5 knee drivers with a lot of movement in the spine. Last time the knee was trying to come up to the chest. This time the knee is gonna go to the same arm. So if it's my right knee, right arm return, right arm return. So 5 of those with no spinal movement, 5 with movement in the spine. Okay? So 5, just isolating that movement to the hip socket. And then 5, where almost like you're trying to bring the forehead over to that knee. Same thing on the other side. 5 knee drivers, no movement in the spine. 5 where you're trying to bring the head over to that knee. All right, then standing back up, posterior chain. So, starting with your left foot, this does matter now. So you're gonna go right hand touches down, left hand touches down, and then come back up. So 2 touchdowns for every stretch. So right fingertips, and like you're a big helicopter, you're just switch, switch, come all the way back up. So keep it a straight line. One arm's down, one arm's up, switch, return. Go through 10 of those. So the leg has to work a little harder now to account for that shift in weight where the center of gravity is as the arms are switching. You end up being down there a little bit longer, so you get a longer stretch.
5 on each leg?
10 and 10.
10, 10, alright.
Ooh.
Oh, I went down.
Same thing on the other side whenever you're ready. If you're now balancing on your right leg, the goal should be to go down with your left hand first, so that's your common direction. Switch and come back up. So balancing on the right foot, left fingertips come down, then the right fingertips, then return. 10 of those. If one leg feels a little harder, well, one leg should always feel harder. We're just asymmetrical things. But try to focus on the breathing. Try to not let the mind wander into whatever else you're supposed to be doing with this time. Or things on your to-do list or whatever else is bugging you. Often as soon as you start talking about something else or thinking about something else, the balance goes off. So try to just keep reminding yourself that you should only be focusing really on what you're doing right now. So back to the balance on the single leg. Squat down. This time you're just going to stay low. So toe, heel, toe, heel. Go through 5 of those. Toe, tuck the tailbone under. Heel, kick the tailbone out. And then same thing on the other side. You're shifting two things. Weight to the toe and tuck the tailbone under. Weight to the heel, kick the tailbone out. 5 of those. You should feel the effort shift from the front of the leg to the back of the leg. So last round, oh, he still has 5 more. I thought you were going very quick. Last round, we'll just have slight variations. Everything on the third round will usually be rotational. So with more twist, fuller range of motion kind of stuff. So you'll start back with knees on the ground. Same idea as that wide step that you did on the last round. This time really trying to focus on landing with a rotated foot. So last time we just kind of did a wide step. This time turn the toe way out and twist with that step. So you're twisting over that front leg, come back to neutral. Step twist, back to neutral. Still trying to take that knee out past the toe. So it's still a huge stretch for that following leg. 10 of those, 5 on each side. We have a very rough deck. Like the top of my feet. Like, it'd be bloody. Again, get that knee out as far as you can. So there's a big stretch in the groin, mobility for the ankle, stretch for the front of the hip, and then movement for the spine as you rotate always towards that front leg, towards that leading leg. Last variation for plank. Back to hands down. If you're starting with the right knee, now you're trying to take it to the left elbow, but without a rotation. So just 5 quick knee drivers. There should be no twist in the back. And then 5 where you make a huge twist in the back, overemphasize that knee driver. Really at the bottom of that movement, the femur is parallel with the ground. If you can get the knee and the hip at the same height, great. Same thing on the other side, 5 quick. And then big rotation for 5. And then last posterior stretch. Pick a leg. Doesn't matter which arm you start with because you're just going to keep rotating back and forth. Sink down into that. So the weight's in the heel. All that that's firing in the back. All that is firing is in the back of the leg. Sink down. Drop the chest. 1 set of fingertips goes down, 1 goes up, and then switch. 10, 9, 8. So you're just staying down for all 10. And same thing on the other side. So big rotation, big ask out of the lower back, holding that stretch in the hamstring for a bit. $10 total, so 5 for each side, not 20 twists.
All right.
Just
Well,
trying to
that
figure
means
out
you're
why
strong,
you were still going.